I just want to congratulate South Carolina on a good road win in our league. A lot of respect for their team and their players, well coached. In my opinion, not only one of the best teams in our league, but one of the best teams in college basketball. Certainly a team that's still in the fight for the conference championship and will definitely be a factor in March. From our point of view, it's a hurt locker room right now. Our guys thought we had a couple of good days of practice. Our guys were emotionally attached to this game. Year one, you always have a lot of objectives, and if I had to put it in one sentence, our objective always been year one is to be a part of the fight. There's a lot of teams in college basketball right now that aren't a part of the fight. Teams that are already talking about their conference tournament or this and that, and that's not us. And I think our players deserve all the credit for the kind of season we've had to this point. Because, it's the reality. It's late February, and we're in the fight. So today was a huge game for us to protect our home court. We just didn't get it done. But I just told the guys, this whole thing of team sports, it's one of the best educations you can ever get. No disrespect to math class or history class or, when you play a team sport, you just learn every lesson that you're going to need to be a man, a great father, great husband. This is adversity, and when it hits you hard, and you just got to deal with it. So I'm excited to get back to the practice floor tomorrow with our guys to see how we respond, because there's no question we're a little bit banged up right now, mentally and physically. I also want to just make sure that I'm saying this really clearly. We're a no excuse program, but I also take my responsibility to take up for our players very seriously. So Breakfield's playing banged up right now. He's had some issues with a wrist, and just really appreciate his effort this week in practice and trying to play in this game. So I definitely want to make sure that's known. I know there'll be a lot of things written this week, here and there, but, Breakfield gave it his all tonight, but physically he's got some adversity right now that we're going to try to help him in any way we can. In terms of the basketball game, it's hard for us to play without Matt Morrell on the floor. You look at the box score tonight, we're +6 with Matt on the floor. Our team's not set up for Matt to play half the game. But that's adversity, and we got to handle that better. From a coaching standpoint, thought about playing him more in the first half with the 2 fouls, but thought we were close enough in the game there till the end of the first half. So that'll be something I have to sleep with tonight. But definitely we're not going to be able to be the team that we need to be, without Matt being on the floor more than that. So we'll look at those fouls, and we'll try to teach and improve him as much as possible. Same thing with Flanagan. We need our best players on the floor. So I haven't seen the flagrant call, but I know when the officials go over there and they get the benefit of looking at the video, I'm sure the call was the right call. So, but that was a lot of adversity for us to handle tonight, not being able to play with a healthy break or having Matt or Al, on the floor. I give a lot of credit to South Carolina. It's a well-coached team. It's probably the one team in our league that when you try to come back from a deficit, it's very difficult with their patience and experience on offense. And we just needed to get some stops, and we just couldn't string enough stops together to get the game manageable in the second half.
Questions for Coach?
Chris, you talk about a hurt locker room and talk about being in the fight at this point of the season. A year ago, that's not where they were. How do you see your leaders kind of handle this stretch lately and knowing what they still have in front of them?
Yeah, I'm proud of our players. Look, our expectations were this time of year to be in position to still be fighting for the conference championship, and we find ourselves in a different situation. But again, this is life. You just keep competing. You stick together in these kinds of times, but I'm extremely proud of our players. I think our effort has been, our hearts have been where they need to be all year long. We just ran into a really good team tonight without 3 of our best players being able to play. But I think, all that stuff will be written after the season, the narrative of this season. But you can't deny that we're sitting here in late February, and this is a hurt locker room right now. Why? Because we're still in the fight. And a lot of basketball left, 4 games left. We got one of the best teams in the country coming in here on Wednesday, and so to me that's an opportunity. I think pressure is a privilege, and there's nobody I'd rather play on Wednesday than one of the best teams in college basketball. So it's an opportunity for us to respond quickly.
Confidence like
What was the confidence like for this team the first 2 months, and where is it now?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
What was the confidence like for this team in the first 2 months, and where is it now?
Yeah. Well, that's a question for the players. I don't want to speak for those guys, but I think our confidence early was at a high level for a first-year team. Why? We put a lot of work into the summer, put a lot of work into practice. I think you earn the right to be confident. Hours and hours in the gym, and so here late, it's a fair question. There's some teams this time of year that are trying to hold on. There's other teams that are playing their best basketball, and that's our challenge: the coaching staff, team, best players, leaders. No time to feel sorry for yourself. This is the SEC. It's college basketball. I wish we could practice tonight. I can't wait to get back on the floor with our guys and clean some things up. I have a lot of confidence in our players. That's exactly what I told them after the game. I think that the story for this team is yet to be written. There's a lot of basketball left. 4 games, a conference tournament, national tournament. So, we'll see. But there's no question we need to be the best version of ourselves. Confidence is a part of that, and I think that's a team thing.
You talked about, Matt with the foul trouble, only playing 20 minutes. As a coach, how difficult was it kind of navigating that on the fly with him in terms of, rotations and making adjustments?
Yeah, it's a team sport. I think in tonight's game, one of their best players also gets in foul trouble in the first half, and they're able to still play good basketball. In the second half, that player got going. So this is how it works, team sport. But I would say, it's no secret, Matt's a big part of what we do. We were +6 with him tonight on the floor. So it was a lot of adversity there. We just got to do a better job, setting our team up, next man up mentality when those kind of things happen.
Your team is banged up mentally. How do you encourage them and kind of instill that confidence that you have in them going into the off week, or not off week, but ahead of Wednesday?
Yeah, right back to work, right back to the process. Training room tonight, hydration and a good meal, get some good sleep, and we'll have guys in the Tui Center as early as 8 in the morning. This is how this team rolls. So just got to get back to work. Can't let your mood be dictated by what the scoreboard says. And really, same message when we have some success. We've had some winning streaks around here, and the message is the same. We got a 12-hour rule around here. And Coach Saban had it at 24, and use some simple math there. We play a couple games a week. They play 1. So we just tell our guys, you got 12 hours. You got 12 hours to celebrate it, or you got 12 hours to beat yourself up a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. Then we got to get right back to work. So for us, we'll look at this. We'll try to learn from it. We'll try to improve from it. And all eyes are on Alabama Wednesday night.
Chris, are you getting the scoring contributions from your bench that you thought you would when you built this roster?
No, not on the stat sheet. And that's something we got to do a better job of, try to manufacture some offense from different lineups, different individual players. Again, I still have a lot of confidence in those players that we're putting in the game. We just got to do a better job as coaches helping them. And then certainly, these players got to play their best when it matters most, which is, March right around the corner. But to answer your question, no. This team was set up for the bench to be a weapon, and we just got to keep working towards that. It's not on the players; it's on everybody, myself included.
Any more questions for Coach?
Appreciate it, guys.